the Nurse Preceptor channel. Welcome back. This is video number 7 in my series of 30 preps in 30 days in honor of September, which is National Preparedness Month here in America. I am covering the topic of sinuses today. Sinus infections, sinusitis, and allergies, and they all kind of go together. Sinus infections can result from having allergies or from having chronic sinus congestion. So being able to self-manage at home is definitely the way to go these days. If you present with anything looking like a sinus infection, the first thing they are going to do at an urgent care is jam the PCR test up your nose and swirl it around, and no thanks, I'd really rather not. So if you would like to be able to self-manage simple sinus infections and sinus symptoms at home, I think you should consider getting every single one of these little prep items. The first one I want to cover here is a squeeze bottle kit, and this is kind of like a neti pot if you've heard of those. This particular kit is from Walgreens. It was fairly inexpensive, somewhere between $10 and $20. It comes with a nasal aspirator, which is like what you would use to decongest a baby, and a squeeze bottle. It has markings up to 240 mLs, and that guides you to how much of the distilled water you need to add to this, and then add one of the saline packets that comes in it. And it will make a perfect saline solution, perfect for irrigating. The wonderful thing about your sinuses and your nose and your nasopharynx, which is the throat and the back of your nose, it doesn't have to be sterile because the air we breathe isn't sterile. So it's not a sterile space, but you want it to be as clean as possible. These are wonderful for irrigating the sinuses. I will do a video later showing you the skill of how to do that precisely. But trust me, if you can wash your sinuses out on a daily basis when you have really bad allergies or when you're starting to have a lot of thick mucus, it helps that mucus to come out. It dilutes down the amount of pollutants and pollen that you have in your nose. And it makes your allergies a lot less irritating, and it can sometimes even help wash away enough mucus that an early sinus infection is averted. And just so that you know, a lot of urgent cares won't prescribe antibiotics for a sinus infection until you've had it for about 2 weeks. I did buy extra saline packets to go with it because I didn't read the package and I didn't realize saline packets do come with it already. But now I've got enough probably for a lifetime. The second thing I want to show you is this really awesome device from Vicks. It is a facial steamer for sinuses. The way that this works is you twist the container off of the reservoir. So in this little reservoir, you can put your solution that you want to steam. It has a gentle heater. You turn it on, allow a few minutes for the steam to build up, and then you put your face in it just like this. And you breathe, and the steam comes up. You can adjust the flow of steam, whether you just want a little or you want a lot. It gets a little bit warm if you put it on full steam, just so that you know. And what I choose to use in that is, it kind of depends on what I'm doing. If it's just for some relief of congestion, a lot of times I will just use saline. And again, it's not a sterile space, so your solution doesn't have to be sterile. The other thing that I sometimes do is I will add colloidal silver drops to it, usually about an ml or 2, and just mix it in with the saline and inhale it. And it has antimicrobial properties, so it sometimes can be helpful for letting your body have the ability to fight an infection on its own. While we're talking about things to put up your nose, let's talk about, I have some generic Flonase. It's called Allerflow. I got it over at Costco. I got a package of 5 for around $30, quite a bargain. I use it daily just to help keep the inflammation down in my nose during times when my allergies are bad, which is pretty much every season. I have also some emergency nasal spray. It goes by a lot of different brand names. This one's generic, but you might know it as Afrin. And what it does is it helps to vasoconstrict the blood vessels in your nose, which shrinks them down, therefore shrinking down the amount of swelling, makes your nasal passages, which may have been swollen, kind of decrease, and makes you more able to breathe. Sometimes the Afrin is also helpful if you have a minor nosebleed that just continues to trickle, sometimes that can be enough to constrict that blood vessel and keep the nosebleed from worsening. One thing I keep in my emergency kit, and I'm trying to decrease my overall dependence on any kind of pharmaceuticals, but I do have Sudafed. It's generic, it's Walfed D, but it is pseudoephedrine. I keep that around for emergencies, and sometimes I really do need it, like where the sinus pain becomes so bad that I can't think because my head hurts. These things are part of my arsenal for keeping my sinuses healthy because I am really prone to sinus infections, and once I get a sinus infection, I usually get an ear infection as well, and it's a few days of absolute misery. So I'm trying to help you guys get some of the tools and some of the knowledge you need to become as self-sufficient as possible. Let's try to decrease our overall dependence on this broken medical system. Do what you can to prepare now while supplies are available and while we are able to obtain them. All right, until next time, see you later. This is the Nurse Preceptor. Oh, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell for notifications and refer your friends to the channel. I'm going to have a lot of really good content coming up this month and thereafter. All right, talk to you later. Bye.